I think you look fat.
What?
PH fat, then strike that pose.
PH fat.
Hi everyone, I'm kicking off this Halloween season with a Lady Glitter Sparkles costume from the movie Trolls. My cousin Harper loves this movie so much, and I'm super excited to make this costume for her because I think she's gonna look great in it. To make the jumpsuit, you'll want to have your model wear a stretchy fitted top and leggings. Make sure that the top is tucked in, and then use a water erasable marker to mark the top of the pants onto the shirt. To create the jumpsuit pattern, fold the shirt and leggings in half and then lay the pants over the shirt, lining the top of the leggings with the markings we made on the shirt. And also make sure that the folded sides are on the same side. I found this pink mermaid fabric from Joann that was the closest thing to the print that Lady Glitter Sparkles had. The material needed to be stretchy and nothing else was pink with squares printed on it, so this mermaid print one will work just fine. Fold your fabric so that you can cut out two pieces at the same time and then lay the shirt and leggings down. Using some chalk, I traced the two front sides together as one piece. Then I can go back and true the markings and add my seam allowance. I added a 1-inch seam allowance along the center front because there's going to be a zipper at the top. Next, I folded the shirt and leggings to the back side and repeat the same steps. You should now have two front pieces and two back pieces and can sew the center front right sides together and the center back right sides together. Now that you have a whole front and back side, face the two pieces right sides together and sew the shoulder seams, side seams, and inner leg seam. When you're sewing the inner leg seam, it helps to start from the middle to make sure that the crotch seam is lined up, and then you would sew one leg first and then sew the other side. I have some extra fabric hanging out because I gave myself some extra seam allowance along the legs in case I needed it, but since I don't need it, I'll just trim it away afterwards. Next, to create the flares in the pants, cut out two full circles. The inner circle right here should fit around the pant legs, but since I didn't know what size to make it yet, I just made it really small until I fitted it on Harper. And I made the length extra long because I can always trim it away later. Once Harper tried it on, I marked where the bottom of her knees were on the jumpsuit and trimmed the pants. Now we can measure the flared pieces around the legs to see how much we need to trim away around the inner circle. Only trim a little bit at a time and then go back to see if they'll fit around the legs, because if you cut too much, you'll have to gather the inner circle to make it smaller. To sew the circles on, face it right sides together to the jumpsuit and use a stretch stitch or a zigzag stitch to sew them together. I also drafted a collar pattern for the jumpsuit, but I apologize, I didn't get any good footage of making it. It's all trial and error. I started off with a basic collar shape and kept adjusting the shape until it gave me the look I wanted. I cut out two collar pieces and sewed them right sides together along the top curve. Then I understitch one side down for a sharper look, and also make sure to clip the curve so it lays flatter. Next, I found the middle of the collar and lined it up with the center back of the jumpsuit, and then sew the outside collar right sides together to the neckline. After the collar is sewn, fold the bottom seam allowance of the inside collar underneath to cover the raw edges along the neckline, and then top stitch it down with a zigzag stitch. To finish a jumpsuit, I'll be adding a gold zipper to the center front. To sew the zipper in, just fold your seam allowance over and line up the folded edge along the zipper teeth and sew it down. Lastly, Lady Glitter Sparkles needs a leather belt, so I'll be making one out of some faux leather fabric I found at Joann and sewing it onto this belt buckle I also found at Joann. They didn't have a gold buckle, but if you want to, you can spray paint it gold so that it's on point with her outfit. We were in a rush to finish and do the photo shoot that day, so we just wrapped the belt around her and quickly punctured holes through it using the buckle.
Meantime, maybe we should find some other way to work up an appetite.
Oh, yeah? What did you have in mind?
You did?
Ever go skating again?
And nope.
No.
Just like it though. Peace out.